Hey guys, we're under a time crunch today as I am leaving the house soon, but I wanted to do this story because I did my makeup. Today we're doing a video about Anna Paul. You guys have sent me some content about her and you wanted me to talk about her, and I'm getting a bit late to the story, but I was kind of waiting for everyone to speak out, and I had this video planned before she spoke out, and I just thought, I'm gonna wait because she has to talk about it. Like, there's no way she can ignore it, so I'm just gonna wait. And speak she did, and it was awful. So today's video is actually very kindly sponsored by Wild, who are offering you guys an incredible deal. If you click the link in description, scan this QR code, or just use code Oles 2025 at checkout, you'll get 20% off all Wild products. You can stock up, that's what I would recommend, and get 20% off a bulk order. You can even give some out for Valentine's Day. Wink, wink. Easter, you know, stock up on presents for people. And talking about Valentine's Day, they have just come out with their new Valentine's Day cases, which, let me hear it if you've been here for a while, it's my new favorite case. I know I say this every time because every time they just beat themselves, right? So we have two different versions of the hearts. How gorgeous. I don't even know which one I want to use more. I think both. Like maybe one will be like my handbag one and one will be my car one or something, because these are gorgeous. They have also come out with a matching lip balm case. We have this cute one, and I have the new scent in here, which they have in the lip balm and in the deodorant. This is the fruity and sparkling scent, which is wild strawberry, red fruits, and champagne. The hearts pattern is also available in the body wash, so you can really just buy a whole bulk for Valentine's Day and either gift it to yourself or to a loved one. And if you use the link in description or the code or Oles 2025, you will get 20% off the whole order. Make sure to use it. As you guys know, Wild use all natural ingredients. They're vegan and cruelty free as well, which is so important. And the scents also come in some sensitive options. So if this isn't sensitive enough, you can go even more sensitive, but Wild is the best, most gentle deodorant on your armpits, but that still makes you smell good. Don't let that, you know, scare you. No, it's sensitive to your skin, but still beats the bad scents. They also obviously care about the planet. We have the forever cases, which you can even engrave and keep forever. And then we have the compostable refills, which means the whole process is plastic free, which is incredible. It's incredibly easy to change your refills out. It is something that you can just do in a matter of seconds, and then you're good to go with a new refill, so you never have to worry about the new case. You can even get a subscription service that you never forget to order your refills, and they'll just come to your door like clockwork whenever you need them. And like I said, you can get the 20% off with my special deal, so use that and enjoy it, and let me know what you think. I have so many of you guys DM me all the time in between brand deals and ask, is the code still available? Do you have a new code? And I'm always just happy to provide, and so is Wild. Let's get back into the tea. Subscribe with the wallet come for engagement. Let's just get into it. Now, before this drama happened, Anna Paul was just like a well-regarded content creator. I've always had mixed feelings about her. That's just me. I always like to be this like gatekeeper of like, well, I had a bad vibe about them before everything came out. You know, I'm one of those really insufferable people. I'm like, I didn't like them anyway. But like I actually didn't. I followed her on TikTok and Instagram just to keep up with her, because I always get this like weird feeling about someone, and then I'm like, I need to know where this feeling's coming from, and I need to figure out what we're doing. But essentially, a lot of people followed her because she did a lot of like travel content. Like she would just travel around the world and drive in her G-Wagon and show her fabulous life. And people were so like, oh my God, how do you have this amazing life? And they just loved following just a young girl. At the time she was still dating Glenn, her ex, and they would just travel the world together and had so much fun. And every day she was in a different country. And people were like, oh my God, this is so unattainable. Like, is this all like from TikTok money, the creator fund? And a lot of people, she had this weird separation in her content where a lot of people didn't know that she did OnlyFans, and that's how she made her money. She was, I think, the #1 OnlyFans creator in Australia at the time, and that's how she made a bulk of her money that she was able to use to travel. And then because she was able to travel to all these wonderful places and do so many different activities, she then was able to blow up on TikTok almost like on the back of that. And then that created a separation in her audience where a lot of people on OnlyFans didn't follow her on TikTok, but then a lot of people on TikTok didn't know that she had an OnlyFans, but it all kind of intertwined. And what I found a bit icky is that her audience seemed very young because they didn't know that she did OF. And now I obviously have like respect for anyone and everything, and like do whatever job as long as you're not hurting people. Like I hate that I have to put a disclaimer on everything I want to say. Like whenever I want to express an opinion, I have to do like, well, if, wait. Like there's so many disclaimers that people have to put out nowadays. It's like, you know, that whole thing about like, was like a thing on, I keep on bringing it up. I saw it on Twitter like ages ago, and it was like, I don't like pancakes, or like I like pancakes, and then someone's like, oh, so does that mean you hate all waffles? It's like everything on the internet nowadays needs a disclaimer. Like, I have no issue with her doing OnlyFans. No issue. And I think she deserves basic human respect, regardless of what job she has, okay? But does that mean I think her audience should be mainly children? No. Because OnlyFans is inherently not a family-friendly job, right? So is her content almost a gateway for people to then be like, for children to go on her link tree and be like, oh, OnlyFans, what is that? And it's just inappropriate. So I always had an issue with the fact that she was pandering her content. She was very family friendly, like to the point where she wouldn't swear in her TikToks. Like she never swears in her TikToks. But then she gets this audience and she's very like happy-go-lucky. And like maybe that is just her personality, but it definitely attracts a certain kind of audience. And when she has meet and greets, we can see the age demographics that show up to these meet and greets, and it's a lot of young people. And then she'll just sneakily hint at her OnlyFans or just have it in her link tree, and I just think it's kind of inappropriate, and it always rubbed me the wrong way. 2 point that rubbed me the wrong way is how much of her like Instagram content is kind of innuendos, and like I said, she's got this really like family friendly audience on TikTok, and then Instagram seems to be kind of like an in-between. Like her TikTok's super family friendly, vaguely mentions OnlyFans, and she only really started mentioning OnlyFans when people were saying like, oh, what is this influx of vloggers on TikTok who are all OnlyFans creators, but they never said they're OnlyFans creators. And when I saw that opinion widely being spread on TikTok, then I saw her mentioning, out of nowhere, she started mentioning, oh, as an OF creator, this is my day in the life. Like she suddenly started introducing it because she saw the like public opinion shift on this whole thing, and then she kind of started mentioning a bit more. Now her Instagram is a bit more risque, I guess. She posts a bit more content, but it's all like very strange. Like she broke up with her boyfriend and she films a lot of content with her brother Attis, I can't pronounce his name. She films a lot of content with him, or like he'll take a lot of pictures for her on Instagram, or he'll be like posing in pictures with her, but she'll be like putting her foot into the picture and making it do weird things, obviously as almost like a fetish content for her OF. But he's like in the pictures with her. And that's when I started noticing a really weird dynamic. Where is the line that you draw with family? Is it appropriate to have your brother in pictures with you that you're posting to tease your OF content? Is that appropriate? Or is it like appropriate for your brother to take those pictures of you? Does it depend on how you look at your family dynamic? But I don't know. I think I don't have anything like concrete to justify it. I'd have to go through our whole Instagram and show you guys specific like Instagram stories that rubbed me the wrong way. But I've just had this weird vibe about this brother-sister duo. I would not feel comfortable doing that. Like clearly posting content that is supposed to be fetishy with your brother in it. Or is that just me? Who knows? So people had a lot of issues with that. But people basically would be like, oh, you're just hating. You hate women. You hate sex work. And like not engaging with any critique of Anna Paul just on the basis of you hate women and you hate sex work. And it's just such a easy way to blow away any criticism because it's just such a shutdown of the conversation. But I think it's an interesting conversation to have, and I don't quite still know where I land opinion-wise on it all. If you do OF, does that mean you can't have a young audience on a different platform? Does that mean you can't post family-friendly content? Or does that mean that you should cater all your content to the OF audience? Like, I don't know. I don't quite have the answers for everything because it's such a new job and it's all just so brand new that I just don't know. But that was like the first critique of Anna Paul that I saw. Then we had this that people criticized her for, which was she was invited to like a red carpet event and they asked her a question and the way she came across was super tone deaf for someone who, bear in mind, drives G-Wagons, flies on multiple holidays first class, multiple times, it feels like a month, right? And it's just super extremely incredibly rich, okay?
You could be another content creator for 24 hours, who would it be?
Someone who's super, super, super rich.
So yourself. So yourself.
Super, super, super rich.
I'd
I'd get on a jet, I'd get on a yacht, I'd get on a helicopter.
Don't you do that though? Kind of, yeah. But I guess so.
This is such an insufferable TikTok, and this was the first time I think people said, when is enough enough? You know, someone said nothing's ever enough. Interview was so real for that response. Yeah, I'm glad she kind of called her out though, because like, don't you do that. She's like, I'd be on a yacht, I'd be on a helicopter, I'd be on a private jet. Anna, honey, like what the hell? You know, Don't you do that though? Lol, love this reporter. Had her speechless. It makes sense now. She's literally insanely rich though. Is she for real? Honestly, it's all making sense. Oh, great, unique answer. Like, someone's super, super rich. What a shallow response. And it just goes to show like why some people make content. It's not because they love making content or they love their fans. It's just like, no, like the amount of money they have is never enough, because she's literally living the best life that she could live. And she's still like, oh, I wish I could be someone super, super rich instead of just super rich like I am. I want someone super, super rich. It's just never enough. And I think that's the difference between people that love making content and people that love making money, because I definitely think there's a gap in that. Some lore that you must know. So Attis was dating Michaela Testa, who is a controversial TikToker in her own right, but a broken clock is right twice a day, is what I like to say. So Michaela Testa has now spoken out against Anna Paul. So it was Anna Paul, her brother, who was dating Michaela, and then she was dating Glenn. And this would be like a four that would travel together, essentially. They created like a little friendship group. And then obviously Anna and Glenn broke up. He's off doing his own thing. And then Attis and Michaela broke up, but they had a super toxic, like tumultuous relationship. They were kind of on and off for a while. So then recently she shocked everyone and posted this OG video. This is the thing that started this whole drama about Anna Paul.
There's a lot of things wrong with Anna Paul. It's way easier to hate me for calling her out when she's wrong than accepting that the Anna you guys love and idolize so much never existed. You don't know her. You don't know her like I know her. You have never met her, and if you have, it's nothing more than a 5-second selfie. These people that watch her don't know the Anna that I know. They know the other Anna, the one she wears when the camera starts rolling. I can't blame the parasocials, because I too would do the same for someone that I looked up to. But my experience with Anna was a lot different to all of you. Mine was a real experience. Everything Anna does is calculated, but she masks the manipulation extremely well with an innocent sweet girl facade, posting all of these videos about self-love and body positivity. Anna, remember that god-awful trend of people posting photos of influencers that they would and wouldn't feel comfortable wearing a bikini around? Remember those slideshows people would make with everyone in the family, of all of you being labeled as safe, and my photo was at the end marked as I would never feel safe in a bikini around Michaela? Meanwhile, right before these videos were trending in 2021 on the South Bank Bridge, when you were peak body positivity, love yourself version of Anna, a plus-size fan came up to you and asked for a hug and a picture. You smiled at her. You told her that you loved her. She told you how your words online have helped her be more comfortable in her body. The moment she walked away, you told Attis that she was annoying and gross, and you didn't want to agree to the hug because she was fat and sweaty. Attis laughed. These were your words, Anna. I heard them. Things like this were a common occurrence. Seeing your fakeness in the flesh was such a disturbing experience. Your fans mean nothing to you, just like the animals you buy and palm off to others.
Okay, she said a lot here that I just about managed to pause. Okay, so the body positivity thing, that's another thing. She's not a like stereotypical Earth model. She's not very like super slim with a tiny, tiny waist and big bum and big, you know, she's still quite an unattainable look. But she's definitely like more normal sized, I guess is what I was going to say. Just like a normal sized person, and she's seemingly natural. She doesn't have like a BBL or a boob job. She's just who she is, right? And so she's portrayed this like everyone should just be happy in their own bodies and everyone's beautiful, and like she'll post kind of unfiltered photos of herself, and you know, it all seemed very nice in theory, but we can never trust everyone or anyone on the internet. Two, the animals thing. That's another thing that's really bothered me. She shows a lot of animals and then they like disappear. She gives me big Tana Mojo vibes of just like obsessed with collecting animals and then they all go somewhere. Who knows where. She had like a horse, she had like a naked cat, she had some dogs, I think. And like she travels like most of the month. I don't know when or where you would be able to look after these animals. I literally have 2 animals. I have a dog and a horse, and I literally spend multiple hours a day looking after these animals. And even then I get help of them. So I just don't know. You literally have to have someone like employed full time, and like multiple people to be able to look after all your animals.
Watching you be praised online for being kind and caring, but behind the facade lived an evil person. All while I'm receiving hate because I didn't create content like you. Everything people accuse me of being is exactly who you are. That was just the beginning of the pot that started boiling within me. Anna's performative generosity, like hiding money in cities or dishing out giveaways behind a paywall, reek of superiority. Watching her fans scramble over scraps, fighting each other because they need these funds while she films it, flaunts her designer labels, endless holidays, and material excess. This is dystopian and out of touch. Anna is preying on the vulnerability and desperation of impressionable young fans for her profit under the disguise of self-love, empowerment, and giving back. Anna may give back to the odd few people, who she can post on her Instagram story for more promotion, but everyone else falls short. Anna, if you truly wanted to give back to your fans, you would use a free platform such as your giant Instagram page with over 2.4 million followers. Or, if you truly wanted to give back to your OF subscribers, you would do it privately within that platform. By posting IG stories advertising that you're sending money to subscribers, you are directly trying to lure new customers over to your page, a page which costs $16 to access. This $16 is essentially a lottery ticket. With the 7-hour difference in time steps between posting your initial promo story on Instagram to actually sending money, it's clear that in that time you allowed the subs to reel in, as this was just a plot for profit rather than a give back situation as you disguise it as. Then posting further stories of screenshots sending few people $500 saying you know where to find me. incentivizing more to subscribe and fall for this in hopes to win. The whole premise of you luring your largely underage fan base to a website containing pornographic photos of you in the hopes of them winning your illegal lottery gambling scheme is so twisted and weird. If you charge an entry fee in order for somebody to win something, it's classed by law as a lottery in Australia. Anna is not licensed to hold lotteries. It's unethical, illegal, and against OF and Instagram's T&Cs. And on top of that, it's exploitation, particularly for her young audience. You only need to ID check to be a creator on the platform, not a spender. I've been on the platform for 6 years, I know it well, and we also conducted a test on this, which means these youths really are subscribing and tipping just like they told me that they have. People that love Anna will come up with all sorts of attacks on me to try and defend her behavior, and that's okay with me. I don't blame them. People may start pointing at me because I'm on the platform too. While I understand, I also testify. Only 3.4% of my following on Instagram, where this is displayed, is under the age of 18. Anna's statistics would paint a much different story. I also never incentivize people to subscribe in the hopes or chances that I'd see their message of despair and send them a lump sum of money, like Anna, targeting her young female audience such as young mothers and high school girls. Another attack that Anna fans will use on me to defend her bad behavior is that I'm obsessed with her family and that I'm not over Attis. They spread all sorts of rumors about what they think happened. This rumor really bothers me and is not true in the slightest. Constantly being tied to such a horrible person and have lies told constantly about how you feel about them is horrible. You have only seen what I've allowed you to see. Anything after my first initial few videos I made, the rest were jokes for views and engagement. I broke up with him. It was my choice to never reconnect again. There was no contact from me to him during that entire time, despite his countless attempts to reach out to me. As I just said, it was exaggerated on my end for views because I know the content performed well, and it did. But I was well and truly over him months before we ended. I have never spoken truth to the internet because it isn't pretty. Everything I say going forward is the truth and will hold up in a court of law. Attis has physically abused me multiple times when I tried to leave him. He would hurt himself and
Okay, so from this point onward, she talks about Attis, who is the brother, and he's obviously prominent in Anna Paul's vlogs, and he also has his own platform that he posts on, and it's just a bunch of like thirst traps essentially, just piggybacking off of Anna Paul's success. And a lot of people have really focused on Anna Paul being a hypocrite, a mean girl, and you know, all the stuff that we can and we should call her out for, including the incentivizing young people to go on her OnlyFans to win some money. You know, all of that is inappropriate and blah blah. I do feel like not enough people, including Anna Paul, aren't focusing on the accusations against Attis. Like, even, I'm gonna spoil alert, Anna Paul's response to this doesn't mention Attis at all. Why? Because this is the most serious allegation, and I want people to really, yes, have some vitriol for Anna Paul for being a bad person, but also have 20 times more vitriol for her brother, because he'll keep on getting away with this, if it's true. Obviously, I have to say that allegedly, because don't sue me, whatever.
His life to scare me into not leaving after he would hurt me. He would take large percentages, such as 50% of my income, to manage me, but in reality, there was no managing, and I personally think it was financial abuse. After we broke up, he took jewelry from my room, hacked into my bets accounts, withdrew money, and then deleted the accounts, thinking I wouldn't notice. When I caught him, he sent it back and played a fool. Then crypto went missing from my accounts, which he set up for me. I accused him, but had no proof, as crypto was anonymous, so I legally had to backtrack while also being manipulated by him and Anna over the phone. I have sent him just about $1 million for numerous work or investments he's done for me, and never saw anything from it. He is a cold-blooded scammer. He has not only scammed me, but the public, and this started in him from a young age. There has been things he has been in trouble for in the past, but I cannot speak on them because he was underage. Then these crypto group controversies followed years later, which I had nothing to do with, and begged him to stop because it ruined my reputation online being affiliated with him. Attis was also accused publicly of rape by his ex-partner, to which I believed back then. I even messaged her that I did believe her. I believed her because her story was something that actually had been happening to me already. And when I confronted Attis and told him I believed her, a fight broke out and he would threaten his life. As a result of what was happening to me, I would get UTIs, and that in turn has permanently affected another internal body part. I'm undergoing surgery in February to correct my body, as I have debilitating health issues as a result. When this happened, our relationship plummeted and I couldn't be the same. Does this sound like a person that I would be obsessed with or want back? I left the wrath of that. In my opinion, it seems the Paul siblings have scamming running through their blood, and I'm not sure why, because they were raised with amazing parents that provided a lot for them. Their dad making triple the average Australian income per week, had them living in a beautiful house on the water with a built-in pool. I've seen the house in person. It's beautiful. Being upper middle class is not being poor, Anna.
That's another thing. Anna has this obsession with saying how she came up like rags to riches. She was so poor. Her parents had like $20 to their name at all times, and they didn't have money for groceries, and turns out that that wasn't the truth.
Exaggerated stories for the internet has always made your dad upset, and me, well, just angry. I was a real victim of the system and poverty, like you portrayed yourself online. Remember that time when he called you out in the living room? He didn't understand why you would post such things, and he called them lies. But you need the story, faking your poverty, so people excuse your schemes and wealth and feel bad for you. Every calculated story serving such an important role in supporting the other lies. This web you're weaving to entrap these people's pity. I am posting this because it's unethical and I care about children and young adults being conned by her. My motive for posting this is not for my own gain, jealousy of Anna, or obsession with Attis. Posting this isn't giving me any other than jeopardy, and I'm not the ones in debt promoting cash grabs. I have my own 2 legs to stand on and would never be jealous of someone like her. I have been friends with Anna since I was 15 years old, going on 10 years now. Our other friends that we shared witnessed the real life Anna and said things over the years, but it's always drowned out by the rally of her brainwashed fans. Someone needs to do it, and I've been through it all for years. I just genuinely don't care about what the internet has to say any more about me. I'm just going to speak the truth, and you guys can say whatever you want about it. If I had more time, I could tell you more stories in detail. Maybe. If Anna's fans don't bully me off the internet, you'd get some. Thank you so much for listening.
Okay, I'm going to have to head out soon, guys, and I'll be back to continue the story. But some comments. Dr. Miami, I'm shook. Well-spoken, eloquent, intelligent, honest. I love strangers drama. Okay, Yes, but also let's talk about the very serious accusations and allegations against Attis. You know what? I believe every word you just said. I hope you consulted a lawyer, babe, if this is true. I'm so sorry. No one deserves this. People need to stop idolizing Anna Paul. Give us the Glenn law. That's another reason people now want Glenn to speak out now that he's like not with Anna Paul anymore. People want him to speak out and say like, hey, how much of this did you see? And is that why your relationship ended? And is that why you haven't like spoken out about her since? You've just minded your own business essentially. But I'm gonna go off to look after my horse. Anna Paul couldn't relate. Hey guys, so I'm back, but it's like multiple days later. I don't know why I do this to myself. Anyway, I hope I filmed the whole thing today, but I might not even be able to do it. This might be a 3-day filming kind of a video. So yeah, let's just get into it. Now, here's a video that she posted in 2022 that she got quite a bit of hate for at the time.
Okay, some big sister advice. For the past 7 weeks, this has been me. You probably already know, but my boyfriend left me. And I was trying to leave him every single month for the past 2 years. And one day I was like, this is it. And he never let me come back, you guys. And I was absolutely devastated. I thought my life was over. I thought, I'm going to... And I had been with him for so long, I couldn't imagine a life without him. And we became one person. So I didn't even know how to think. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to live or breathe without this person in my life. I was in an extreme state of stress, panic. And I know this feeling all too well because I had this before this person. And my friends were doing the whole Mick, like, remember last time? Like, everything's gonna be fine. You'll live. Just forget them. And I was doing the whole, like, what do you know? You don't know anything. This is my soulmate. Like, shut up. But hey, seriously, listen to me now. You have made a fake reality and fake version of this person in your head because they're not here right now. And they're not here for a reason. I know a lot of people have a different story than mine, but I obviously didn't want this person for a long time. Why am I right now acting like I need them so bad? And it's all psychology. So you've been left, you've been abandoned. And this is like trauma that is like deep inside. Abandonment issues, right? So right now you feel abandoned, you feel heartbroken, you feel like everything. And this person is in a powerful spot because they can decide what happens from here on out. But no, you can decide. Today you're going to decide to choose yourself. You're going to choose yourself and you're going to never talk to this person again. You're not going to give them time of day because they don't deserve it. Stop wasting time. Stop wasting your life. I've just wasted 3 years of my life with somebody like I wasn't even there, like a side quest. Like I wasn't even all there. You are beautiful. You are wanted. You are worth so much. And you're just wasting it on somebody that doesn't even like see your worth at all. Like look at me. I'm like the hottest girl ever. And here I was thinking nobody's ever going to want me. I'm a clown. And another thing that people don't talk about is we're in this situation, like you're obviously heartbroken, blah, blah, blah. Do not jump into another thing with another person because that's what just happened. Okay, and I wasted 3 years. I wasn't there. It's not good. You get stuck. And if you have like mental issues, you're even more stuck than somebody that doesn't. So it all stops today. Wipe those tears away. Get your ass up. Go have a shower. Brush your teeth.
So obviously this was kind of hinting at the situation because she says, I've been trying to leave every month and then finally he leaves me and then I'm distraught. That's a sign of like a super emotionally abusive relationship. Like you want to leave this whole time. And then the moment they end it, you go into panic mode because you don't actually quite know how to live without them. And even though it's bad, do you know what I mean? Like you hear this story a lot. And so this is a story from 2022. I mean, she's kept her story pretty consistent. So it makes sense, right? If that situation is kind of similar, she's just added more information to it because she's kind of hinted at this relationship not being very healthy, then I don't see why it would be a lie now that she's kind of just added to it, if that makes sense. But obviously, allegedly. Someone said, anyone here from 2025? I'm stuck in a time loop. Then in 2022, I mean, a lot of people were not on her side, always talk so negatively about people she used to be with, like her sisters. I thought you said that you guys left on good terms. He seems so arrogant and you're way too hot for him. I mean, that's a good one. I love this woman, but that's now. Someone's posted that in January. A lot of people basically think that she was out of his league, but they're also like, why are you posting this? Like, why are you guys on bad terms? You said you were on good terms, but people can't, it's not like she lied. I think she just wanted to protect him up until she realized, hey, you're actually kind of very much a piece of shit, so I'm not going to protect you anymore. Someone also talked about the fact that Anna Paul also abandons her animals a lot, which is just a sign of someone who's probably not a very empathetic person or a good person. I don't know. That's my opinion. You can think otherwise. I think if you agree to take care of an animal and then you abandon them and you do it, if you do it once because you bit off more than you could chew and you think, right, let me rehome this animal to a more loving home, and that animal then ends up having an amazing life that they would have never gotten with you because you didn't have the capabilities for that or the time. And fine, everyone can make mistakes, you can make a mistake, but if you do it time and time again, kind of like Tana Mojo, right, and like Logan Paul, it just shows a side of you that is able to discard something that completely relies on you. Because the thing about animals is that they completely rely on us for everything, for life. Without us, they would literally just cease to exist, and they rely on you for comfort, for food, for a roof over their head, for exercise. They literally can't do anything on their own, right? So if you then make that mistake time and time again, you keep on discarding these animals, I always wonder like how you treat the people around you that don't rely on you, but they might want you in their life. Do you know what I mean? Because an animal actually fully relies on you, whereas people don't. So then I'm like, well, if you're able to discard something so reliant on you, then how do you deal with things that aren't super reliant on you?
And 2 cats and their dog that they got together. According to a family friend who I've been speaking to, Glenn was left to look after the dog and 2 cats. And allegedly, Anna just dumped her 2 horses, completely forgotten about, and they now have handlers that look after them.
Seeing your fakeness in the flesh was such a disturbing experience. Your fans mean nothing to you, just like the animals you buy and palm off to others.
Like I said, it's kind of the way she treats her fans, is the way she looks at these animals, just to, you know, oh, well, you're here one day, the next day I'm bored of you now, off you go, you know? Which makes sense. I mean, 2 cats, 1 dog, 2 horses, that's 5 animals that you've just pawned off to other people. I mean, I bought my dog at 20, so I had just turned 20, and then a few months later I had, I'm not going to say her name out loud because she's in the room and she'll get really excited. So yeah, and that's definitely stopped me from doing a lot of things. I can't just jet around the world whenever I want. Jet as if I got a private jet. I just mean, like, I can't just go on a gajillion holidays. I can't just go on holiday every single month because she'll miss me, right? She relies on me and I'd have to find someone to look after her. But then, like, if I'm gone every single month, is that even my dog anymore? I can't just, like, get up and move countries whenever I want. You know, those people that do like a gap year somewhere, they go and live in Australia for a year and then they go live in, I don't know, Texas for a year and then they live in Canada for a year. No, like, I have to pick a spot where I'll be able to move her to, where she'll be comfortable, and then we stay there for a while so she settles in and she's not super stressed out. So I can't just, like, get up and go and get up and do things. And that's a choice that I've made for my 20s. Hopefully she lives into my 30s because she's a healthy pup. But that's a decision that I've made. I've settled down. And then recently I got a horse, which means even more so, this horse is going to live for probably another 20 years. That is me now going into my 40s. And I need to then think about, like, if I move house, I'm going to have to figure out how to move this giant horse with me. I'm not just going to abandon her, right? Because I chose to buy these animals. But that's how I think. And just because I think that way doesn't mean that everyone has to think that way. But I do side-eye you a little bit if you're just, like, prioritizing your own fun and freedom. Because why would you get these pets then if fun and freedom were your priorities? Pets never give you fun and freedom. They give you loads of fun, but in a different way. But they don't give you, like, the freedom to just have fun whenever and wherever you want. So I always side-eye people for that. Then we have some more lies that she has said. So she's always claimed that she's not a liar, but then people are obviously calling her out for lying, including Michaela. So here are some lies that she has put out.
We fight every single day, and we're doing nothing to fix it.
We've been dating for 8 years, and we've only had like 3 fights in our whole relationship.
She assumes that you and your boyfriend don't fight. So that could not be further from the truth. We've been together for 3.5 years now, and we fight every day.
And some people are saying, oh, maybe the first 3 years of the relationship were just really rough, and then they kind of figured it out for the rest of the relationship, and that's what she meant later on when she was like, we've been in a relationship for 8 years. But she said, we've been in a relationship for 8 years, and we've argued like a handful of times. Like, you count it on one hand, essentially, how many times they've argued. But in the first 3 years, they argued every day. So, like, even that just doesn't line up, right? But it's this portrayal of a perfect life to people, so they feel jealous of you and they follow your content because they get this, like, jealousy and this, oh, well, she's just this beautiful rich girl just jetting around the world and super rich and going on holidays with a perfect boyfriend in their perfect relationship with their perfect friendships. And none of it is true. None of it's true.
I think that's why we lasted so long as a couple in a relationship, because we don't do fights, we don't do play games, there's no drama. So even our breakup is the healthiest breakup on planet Earth.
And that's obviously what she said after they did break up recently, that it was so healthy and they never argued, so this was all on good terms. I would love for Glenn to come out and do his own, like, Michaela Testa video, but I just know he won't do that, because when you're in a relationship, I think people equally have a lot of dirt on each other because you end up just being in a very intimate setting. So I bet if he came out with anything, she would then come out with stuff, and I just think he probably doesn't want to do that. But yeah, anyway. And then someone said the Glenn situation was honestly so weird. That baby voice, yeah, I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Anyway, that's just my personal gripe. So that was a tongue twister. So glad Glenn got out. Wow. She sells seashells on the seashore, I guess. Me and my husband have been together for 12 years this year. At the beginning we fought all the time, and now we never do. This changes. Things change in a long-term relationship. Yeah, so that's what I was addressing, where, like, some people are making that argument, and it would make sense if she did say, oh, in the 8 years we've argued at the beginning, but now we don't argue anymore at all. But she said a whole 8 years we've argued a handful of times, but then in the first 3 years they argued every day, which makes no sense, because there'll be like over 900, like 1,000 arguments, right? So anyway, then someone said we need to focus on the right things, and this is what I was trying to emphasize as well.
Why is everyone acting Like, the big juicy gossip is the fact that Anna called another, like, a fan fat when...
This is why I speed videos up, because why does everyone speak so slow? Is it just me? Have I just cultivated an audience of people that just love when people speak really fast? Because that to me was like painful. And there's nothing against this girl. There are so many people out there that want people to speak slowly and enunciate and think about what they're saying. That is not what this channel is about. We speak fast and we get the point across. Okay, so yeah, wow. Now you guys get it, right?
There's rape allegations and DV allegations.
I completely agree. Completely agree. Yes, her calling a fan fat is awful, and it goes against everything that she portrays in real life, and we can still acknowledge that and talk about how shit that is, and her lying constantly, her portraying different lifestyles for whatever suits her narrative. We can talk about all of that. We can talk about her being a bad friend. We can talk about her abandoning her animals. We can, but let's also put an equal, if not higher level of focus on her brother allegedly committing crimes. Right, I believe it's been known that her brother is a rapist, that's why. And someone said his new ex-girlfriend, Jemia, is the @ so Jemia is her @ has posted an Instagram story, which they've obviously expired by now, but saying that something similar happened to her. And so this is obviously like a thing. And in the past, his ex-girlfriends have accused him of things, and Anna has mocked them, spoken out against them, and sent fans to harass them. So allegedly sent fans to harass, obviously. You know, like if you're a massive figure that speaks out about someone and says that person's lying about my brother, you're obviously sending your fans to harass them, obviously. So this is her obviously lying about being poor, which was like a big lie.
For them, their dad making triple the average Australian income per week had them
I mean, first of all, skiing, you know?
in a beautiful house on the water with a built-in pool. I've seen the house in person. It's beautiful. Being upper middle class is not being poor, Anna.
Then we have more proof, I guess. Oh, video currently unavailable. Cool. Stalked Anna Paul's Instagram so you don't have to. Now, she claimed that she was about like 6 or... She was really trying to disprove the ages when things happened, but she's clearly about like 13, 12, 14 here, right? So like... But she was saying, oh, maybe I was doing things when I was like 6 or 7, but not blah, blah, blah. Large flat TV screen. Build-A-Bear, which are expensive. iPhone 5 at the time, obviously that was a big deal. Surface Paradise, Celine at 14. Now, I also don't want this to come across as like, it could be true to some extent that they didn't have a lot of money. First of all, if your parents make a lot of money but then they spend all of it, you don't have a lot of money, right? So maybe her parents were just really financially illiterate and really irresponsible with money, and so she constantly felt on edge about, oh, they're buying me these nice things, but then next week we can't afford rent because they've spent all this money on Celine and Louis Vuitton. That can be really stressful for a child. But I think it's just the way she was portraying stuff as like rags to riches, like, oh, I was so poor as a child. It's like, no, maybe your parents were just financially illiterate, but that doesn't make you poor. It just means your parents are irresponsible. And I just think there's that discrepancy there. And also, I think you can grow up not rich and then still have nice things. Like, I didn't grow up rich at all. At all. Mainly when we first came to the UK, like not at all. But my parents would always make sure that I had the Christmas present that I asked for. I also wasn't asking for like a horse or like a first class jet to Dubai. But like there was just made sure, and even if it went on a credit card and they had to pay it off throughout the year or something, I just always got what I asked for, that I would then post on my Instagram or my Snapchat to make it look like we were richer than we were. So I can see this happening, but I also think the stuff that she's posting is hard to fake, because at that point it's like I wasn't getting Louis Vuitton when I was 14. No way in hell. I wasn't flying first class, and I know she tried to disprove that one, but yeah, I think there's some discrepancies. Traveled to Germany, and then she was like in LA skiing in Austria. I mean, I've gone skiing snowboarding as a child, but once again, like we did it in a way more cost effective way, and then we wouldn't go on another holiday that year, and it would go on a credit card as well. So it's hard. Yeah, you know, it's hard. First class to Dubai. Yeah, she was saying Dubai, but then she said that that's when she was flying to Germany to her family, and her brother threw up all over her. So for the last 20 minutes, what they called the hostesses, the stewardesses, allowed her to sit in first class, and but then like, why did she say Dubai? I guess maybe she was just a stupid child. I don't know. She was like, oh, flying to first class to Dubai, but she was only like, she was flying to Germany. I don't know. Expensive chocolate, Godiva, Gucci at 14. So she's wearing like a Gucci bracelet there, or like a watch. Went to Good Life. PlayStation 4 4 months after it was released. Michael Kors watch at 14. Yeah, I definitely wasn't wearing those. House backs onto a canal. In-ground pool. Obviously, they're quite expensive. Nike shoes. I mean, that's not like that big of a deal because I do think maybe you just really beg for them throughout the year and you get them for your birthday or something, and then you don't get another pair of shoes for the whole year. It doesn't make you rich. It just means you got one nice thing. But as we can see, she's had loads of nice things. So that's when her story starts to fall apart. And then she posted this. I like my money right where I can see it, hanging in my closet. Carrie Bradshaw. I mean, that is a bit less for me, but once again, it paints an image, right? I can tell you're like the richest girl out. Ha ha ha. Am I? 400 plus Tiffany & Co necklace and some Starbies. In-ground pool. GTA 5 6 months after release. Another Michael Kors watch, still at 14. Ralph Lauren. She's traveling again. Ralph Lauren again. The watch, that was on her 15th birthday. The watch, and the car. Tommy, Ralph Lauren again. The view from her backyard. Ralph Lauren again. Designer bag. Obviously she's, you know, not poor. Hot tubbing at 15. I think some of this can be disproved and some of it is like, oh, well, you're kind of lying there. YSL, there's obviously a you know, a Louis Vuitton there, another Louis Vuitton. Tiffany & Co, Marc Jacobs and Pandora, a BMW, unless this is someone else's car, a Louis Vuitton, and she's wearing Yeezys, but this is in 2017 to be fair, but birthday shopping for my boy the other day, spoil your man ladies, she would have been like 16, 17 at that point, Yeezys, a massive Louis Vuitton bag, Krispy Kremes in a BMW, more Louis Vuitton, macaroons, Louis Vuitton. I mean, unless all of this is fake, but then the BMW wouldn't be fake. But that is in 2017. Yeah. Someone said, I grew up lower middle class. That's probably how I'd describe myself. And I sure as hell didn't have any of this. And she claims she was lower class. Yeah. Okay, guys. I am going to have to leave that there. Only because I am running late. So I will come back today and film the rest of this video. Why is it all in like 3 parts? That's just what happens when you buy animals that you take care of. I know, it's crazy. I'll see you guys soon. Okay, hopefully this is the last time I'm trying to film this video. This is part 3 of the Anna Paul situation. Let's get back into it just quickly. Then we have a video of Anna Paul explaining, originally in 2020, because she was already being accused of lying about her parents being poor in 2020, so that's when she addressed it for the first time. And she's kind of stuck with the story now.
I have some drama. A girl tried to explain to me for lying about being broke, and let me explain to you why all my Instagram pictures are fake. Instagram is fake. Instagram is not real. This is me 2014, first class, right? Ooh, rich? No. My whole family lives in Germany, and we last 20 minutes because we were minors. And I flexed it. Instagram is fake. My mum bought me this in 2015 Louis Vuitton.
She didn't address the fact that she said Dubai on there. I understand what she's saying, like with the being fake, and maybe it was a lie that she went to Dubai and she actually went to Germany, but it's kind of like, why did you put Dubai on there, you know?
It cost $500. She got $250 from Santa like a week, and she saved up for a year. This is a $50 YSL lipstick. I bought this and I couldn't afford the train ticket home. I had to legally jump on the train. When Attis was 13, he used to buy hookahs online for really cheap and then sell them at school for $10 each. And for my 16th birthday, he saved up for these for me. Instagram is not real.
And then she said, sometimes we didn't even have enough money to buy fuel to even get to the grocery store. And then when we walked there, we had to feed a family of 4 with $30 of grocery money per week. People don't talk about the struggle online. Stop believing everything you see. And then she said, not to mention, why would I leave any of those fake flex photos up if I had something to hide? I would have deleted them a long time ago. I'm not the right one to expose because I don't lie. So sorry about it. Which she keeps on saying this thing about like how she doesn't lie. She's so honest, but she's been caught up in a few lies. So.
And the other one is to never ever lie. My mum wanted us to never lie to her. So I still don't lie. And especially not online, right? So I've never ever lied online once in my life. So the number 1 hate comment that gets to me is when people are like, oh, she probably lied about that, or she's lying. It's the one thing that I don't do. Please say anything. Say I'm ugly. Say I'm stupid. Don't say I'm lying. I will never ever lie.
Then we have a deleted video by Michaela. This was a video that she posted a while back, which kind of goes against what she's saying now. So people are saying like, this is now deleted. But then again, like if you are in a emotionally abusive relationship and you rely on this family for comfort and blah, blah, you might defend them for ages up until, I guess, they cross a line. And then, do you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that she might be lying now, but it just might mean that at the time, even though they weren't great to her, they were still like a comfort for her. So she was defending them. And now that she's done with them. She's saying, hey, like what they did was actually really messed up. I don't know. I'm not trying to stick up for her, but I'm just saying.
Sick to my freaking stomach seeing everything I've seen on the internet in the past couple of days. I've refused to say anything. There's videos with hundreds of thousands of likes dragging me and my name into it when I've literally said nothing. I've had nothing to do with it. But as somebody that is friends with Veruca, I think we had a little bit of a fall.
And this was, for context, after Veruca exposed Anna Paul for not taking care of her dad and the fact that she's like a multimillionaire and he's basically homeless and like doesn't shower and has to do DoorDash basically. And then Veruca got a bunch of hate for that, and Anna Paul did nothing to mitigate the fact that Veruca was getting hate, and this was shortly after her baby passed away, so it was a whole, you know.
Not long ago, but someone that's friends with Veruca and somebody that lived with Anna and lived with Hans for multiple years, I'm just going to speak and you can listen or not. Hans is a hippie man. He doesn't like to shower that much. He also doesn't have that much money. And he would rather like suffer in silence than ask his kids for money. He's a retired man. He lives in a van and he enjoys this hippie van life and he travels Australia. And I think the reason why he does DoorDash is because, you know, you can travel and you can make money and, you know, it's just easy to do DoorDash rather than ask your daughter for money. He prefers this lifestyle, and it's something that Anna and I would joke about all the time. Like, we lived in a $10 million house, and he would rather sleep in the van in the garage than sleep in one of the unused 5 bedrooms upstairs because he's just a hippie man that likes doing this type of stuff. He dated a woman that Veruca had as a babysitter, and she told her a bunch of information and stuff like that. Look, like, I don't know about that, but what I do know is that Hans is a hippie man, and he enjoys living, like, this really minimalistic lifestyle, showering at beaches. You know, he documents this all on his Instagram and stuff. I don't think Veruca is lying. I genuinely think she was told this information, and most of it is true to some extent, but like it is just a preferred way of life by him. So I think everybody needs to stop talking about this. Leave Veruca alone. Please don't bring up her dead baby and fucked up shit like that. That's disgusting. And also, let's just stay out of Anna's family life because again, that has nothing to do with us. And if the man loves to like live in a van and like have this minimalistic lifestyle, like, let's let him. I think the reason why Veruca posted the video is because she's in such an emotional state at the moment, and obviously her being told by this shit by somebody that's really close to her and was close to him, you know, she probably has a lot of empathy, and as she said, it's keeping her up at night. She messaged Anna, didn't get a response, and that's why she posted the video in the first place. I think it's true. I think maybe he was telling, you know, other people some stuff and it got to Veruca, but yeah, I lived with Hans and doesn't like to shower and he loves to sleep in his van. Even when there's a million luxury options that he could take, he would prefer not to ask his kids for money and sleep in a van. Bye.
So obviously that's what she thought at the time about the situation. Maybe now she thinks differently. Now we also have this Anna Paul footage of someone. This was in the UK. She did like a thing in Boots, like a meet and greet, and was it Superdrug? One of those. And someone said, now I see it, please, why does she look so unbothered? I love Anna, but I'm starting to see the truth now. The whole time she was just checking herself out and making comments to her brother, Michaela, I'm on your side. And it's basically showing how Anna Paul's apparently a mean girl. And she does look like she's kind of judging everyone. I mean, that could be out of context. I don't know. Sometimes I don't like these super short clips of someone out of context in real life because I've got like the massivist, that's not even a word, but the massivist resting face. So if someone filmed me, I'd look miserable as well. And I'm not half the time. So yeah, I think it's a bit of a, you know, that's a bit of a tricky one for me. Now, this is another thing that people are using to oppose what Michaela is saying, and this is an interview that she did not too long ago saying that her and Anna would be friends forever.
With Anna and I, like, we're always going to be friends. I feel like there's never a reason for us, like, not to be friends. Obviously, like, don't like her brother, like, don't not a huge fan of him or whatever it is. But, you know, I obviously wish him well and stuff, and, like, Anna and I were friends before Attis and I started dating. Obviously, Attis and I knew each other first, but Anna's a lovely human being, and obviously love her forever, and I'm always here for her. And yeah, we're still friends. Like, we still text each other and stuff. And, you know, she's texted me saying, like, she wants to hang out in Europe. And, like, I've texted her, like, advice. Just, you know, every now and then. We're still friends.
That's nice that you can keep that friendship after everything that's happened.
Yeah, after everything. All the stuff. Yeah, we're still friends. And she's always letting me know that she's always going to be there for me and stuff. So.
Oh, that's so good.
So, obviously, things could have, changed since then. 2, this could have been, once again, like a defense tactic. Maybe she didn't quite realize how much of a problem or a role Anna played in everything. Maybe she just thought Attis was the bad guy, but Anna was like not, and now she realizes that maybe Anna was actually a big part of the problem. Or maybe just at the time she didn't want drama and beef with someone who was beloved. Like, Anna Paul was like a really loved creator, so maybe she just felt like it was less drama to just be like, yeah, we're still friends and we'll be friends forever. And now that, like, maybe the tide's turning against Anna, or she feels like she doesn't have a lot to lose, now she's basically speaking out. I don't know, but people are using that to kind of basically be like, what about this? Now, Anna Paul and Attis are now being exposed by another person for being just like fake, two-faced people, and this is a creator called Lilith, and she also has an OnlyFans.
Hey everyone, so a few nights ago I went live on TikTok and someone was screen recording my live, and a few TikTok accounts have been made, me talking about the situation between Anna and Attis. I really wanted to make this video to talk further on it, as there's a lot of comments about me, and I just wanted to share my story in depth. There's also a message between Attis and I that are going around, so that's why also I want to make this video, and I really want to start from the beginning. I don't know if anyone remembers, but in 2019 it was super popular to do shout out for shout outs on Instagram. I don't know how the group chat was made, like who made it, but we had a group chat, and Anna, Michaela, me, Bailey, Chloe and Chantel, I hope I'm pronouncing her name properly, but we all made a group chat and became really good friends online, supporting each other, shouting out like each other's Instagram pages and everything. The first time we all ever met, we actually went clubbing, which was really fun. There is a photo circling around TikTok. I'm not too sure if you've seen it, but it was actually a really fun time and we all got along. And then after that night, I'm pretty sure I stayed at an apartment with Michaela and Chloe. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure we hung out that day and took some photos. Anna and I actually hung out a few times as well. We went shopping, we got our lips done, and we also went to the beach as well. Attis was there taking photos of Anna and I, and also for our OF as well.
So this was a confirmation that Attis takes at least some of Anna Paul's OnlyFans content, which makes that whole brother-sister incest story, myth, legend situation that much weirder, because people already accuse them of basically being incestual, and this doesn't help the case.
While I was hanging out with Anna as well, she would always make these sister comments like, I want you to be my sister, and just all these like sister comments. I didn't quite understand why at the time, but also on that day as well, I got a photo with Attis as well, because at that time I got out of a relationship because my ex-boyfriend cheated on me and I really wanted to make him jealous, so I posted a photo of Attis and I also asked Attis what should the caption be. I also have a message of this, and he said I should caption it, "This is my sister's brother," which I thought was weird now thinking about it. Then we all wanted to hang out again. We went to a festival, I can't remember.
This is my sister's brother, which would make him your brother. So once again, just playing into that incestual vibe, I don't quite understand. And I don't know if I showed you guys this clip, because obviously I filmed this over like the span of a week. I don't know why. But there is a clip of Anna talking about how when they were in school, people would like accuse them of dating and thinking that they were like incestual. Which, why do people think that you and your brother are dating in school? People that hang out with you every day for multiple hours a day. Very strange.
What it was called, it was like grasses or greener, I don't really know what it was called. I remember that we got an apartment and we all stayed together and we're all getting ready as well, which was quite fun. I did my whole makeup. I got all new makeup for the event because it was my first ever festival. So yeah, it was pretty exciting for me and I honestly had a really good time. I remember a couple of days after the festival, we were still talking. So yeah, we were still friends. Then everyone in the group chat was not messaging me back. No one was messaging in the group chat. I felt extremely alone and very confused about what was going on. At that time, I really was going through it because when I make friends, I get extremely attached. Very attached, because growing up I didn't really feel love, so I would attach to my friends. And then I got a message from Attis. I did say in the live, basically he said I wasn't good enough, because at the time that's how I felt, because I was just really confused about the words that he used. Before Attis messaging me, I do remember individually messaging the girls trying to find out why they're not talking to me. I did feel just extremely alone and just so confused, and it honestly was a really dark time. Yeah. Getting the message from Attis was very confusing because in my eyes I still didn't understand why, but I did appreciate him messaging me just because I got a little bit out of it. The message reads, "Just to make it clear and clear it up for you properly, the girls gave you a chance to let you in the friend group for 2 weeks. They feel you do not get along with them and that you do not suit being friends with them, and they would rather..."
So they had fun for 2 weeks and now they're like, you don't actually fit in with us. Like, it's almost like she was giving like a 2-week free trial, like for Netflix or something, and she was just dropped like that, which obviously goes to show their character. Very strange.
"Not be friends with you." When I read that, I was extremely hurt, because when he says that I didn't get along with them, I didn't understand that because we did get along, and I just don't know why. Anyway, a really long time after that as well, Anna made a YouTube video, a Q&A video, and I remember this day because it truly hurt me, these words, and they still do. Anyway, hold on. I can't exactly remember the question that was asked, but it was something to do with if you've had like a bad friend or anything, and she said, "A fake bitch with glasses." You guys might not think that's a bad comment, but for me it was very hard to hear that, especially that a lot of people knew it was about me because I was the only friend with glasses, and people knew that, oh my god, sorry, and then people knew that it was about me. I do remember a few months later, 2 girls reached out to me and told me that Anna was in their ear saying that I was saying nasty things about them, and that's why they stopped being friends with me. I just want to make it clear, I never spoke badly about anyone. If anyone knows me personally, I'm just not that type of person to do something like that. Sorry, I'm trying not to get upset. But yeah, I'm just not that type of person to ever do that. So yeah, it was pretty hard to hear that because it was just really confusing. Anyway, a few years later, I actually bumped into Michaela at a party in LA, and we actually spoke about the whole situation, which was really nice. It was like, just so nice. Anyway, so Michaela told me that she stopped being friends with me because she thought I liked Attis. I never liked Attis. I was never interested in him in that way whatsoever. So yeah, I was very confused. I also told Michaela the nasty words that Attis said about her as well. So on the festival night, at nighttime, Attis and I were actually talking, and he was talking about, I think I asked him if he likes Michaela, and he said no, and he proceeded to say these awful things, which I won't repeat because, yeah. I didn't actually get the chance to tell Michaela at the time, when we were friends at the beginning, about what Attis was saying, because it just went a bit weird after the festival. I hope everything makes sense. I haven't checked.
Okay, so then we have Anna Paul's response, which is interesting to say the least. And then we have a few more Lilith TikToks that she posted after Anna Paul did her response to Michaela Testa's original video.
If I made a video addressing every time anyone said anything bad about me, I would be posting all day long every single day, as would every other content creator. That's what the whole For You page would be filled with. But I think we can all agree that this has gotten a little bit big and a little bit much, so now here I am. And I'm never doing this again. I don't address stuff like this, but it has gotten very big. And the reason why I've taken so long to reply is not because I have a PR team and this and that and whatnot. I'm by myself. There's no script, there's nothing. I'm just talking to the camera. The reason why I've taken so long is because this all took me by surprise, and it was a very big shock to me, because somebody that I thought was my friend and that I was close with really hurt me. And 2 months ago, she was asking me to go to Fiji with her on a girls trip. And last year, when my dad was apparently homeless and that was going everywhere crazy on TikTok, she was the one helping me through it, sending me voice messages, telling me, don't listen to the people online, they're dumb, everyone's stupid, tell Papa it's going to be okay, I hope Papa's okay, don't tell him not to listen. She was helping me. So now this has all come as a very, very big shock and surprise, because I thought we were friends. But I'm going to address the things regarding me. So the first thing I want to address is that apparently in 2021, a fan came up to me and we hugged. And after she walked away, I said, oh my God, she was so fat and sweaty. Now, I do not call my fans fat. That is not who I am. That is not what I stand for. That's not what I've ever stood for. But you guys know me, surely. That is not what I stand for. Sweaty, however, I may have called her sweaty, because when somebody is wet and they touch you and then they leave, and when you...
That's such a funny way of addressing that drama. Like, don't call my fans fat, but I might have called her sweaty. Like, that's just, it's so interesting.
Your best friend, and you are now wet because of them. You may say, I am now wet. Again, this was 4 years ago, but that may have happened. And I also know that people would have hugged me, walked away, and said, Anna Paul was sweaty. That does not make them a bad person. That's just them pointing out that after 2 people touch, they are now sweaty or wet. For example, actually, during meet and greets, I hug thousands of people. And my go-to thing when I meet fans, I always go in for a hug. So I hug thousands of people, so my shoulders go into thousands of armpits. And afterwards, my shoulders smell like...
Also, I think I was watching the Do You Know Them girlies, and they talked about the fact that Anna Paul's actually really tall for a girl. Typically girls are shorter, and so for her to have a bunch of people rub armpit on her shoulder to the point of smelling like BO is quite impossible, because she's taller on average than most of the people in her meet and greet. So how are you shoving your shoulder in enough armpits to get BO smell? I've also never hugged X amount of people and smelled like BO.
I'm fine, like, hey, does anyone have a wet wipe? Both my shoulders really smell like sweat. That is just a human thing. And of course you can twist it and make it sound bad in a video, but yeah. The second one is that I lie about growing up broke. Now, I do not lie about the fact that I grew up broke. When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That is how I felt. When I can hear my parents talking in the kitchen that the budget for the groceries that week is $30, it makes me feel broke. When we can't afford school uniforms, it makes me feel broke. When I'm 11, when I'm 10, and all my friends can afford something and my parents can't, it makes me feel broke. When they say, oh, I don't know how we're gonna...
Now, I don't know if you guys heard, but DJs in Australia are remixing that to be like a DJ set. Like, it makes me feel broke. It makes me feel broke, which is just, yeah, it's pretty funny.
And next week, that makes me scared and makes me feel broke. That does not mean that I was the most broke person on earth. There are definitely people in way worse situations than me, but that does not mean that I'm lying about the fact that I felt broke during those times. And of course, because the internet is going crazy, they are pulling up photos of, this was Anna's childhood home, showing photos that I grew up in when I was already an adult that I couldn't even imagine even going into when I was like 7 years old. Or this was Anna's first car, not my first car, not my childhood car. I didn't even have social media when I was like 7. Like, so the internet didn't even exist back then. It was like 2006.
Also, no one's saying 7. People are saying you were about like 15, 16, 17, you know, when you were on a first class flight and in a BMW and buying Tiffany & Co. and Louis Vuitton. All of that was when you were like 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, that kind of teenage range. So no one's saying 6 or 7, let's not be dramatic.
2007, those photos wouldn't even be on the internet. But people, okay, this is another one. I'm gonna explain some photos on my Instagram, because even though I have addressed these hundreds of times over the years, and they're also on there, you can see them all, they're all there, but I've addressed this a lot of times. I'm gonna address 1 or 2 just to show you social media is fake. It is not real. Instagram, it's all fake, and it can be faked. So this is just a perfect example.
I also don't know if it's me, but I hate this way of speaking into the camera on TikTok. This is such like a TikTokified way of speaking. Like, it's all fake, it's all fake. It just gives me like big Mr. Beast vibes, but like for the girlies. Like, this is the girlies Mr. Beast. Okay, maybe let's not be dramatic, because Mr. Beast has some allegations going on, but you know what I mean, like the style of content.
There's a photo of me sitting in first class when I was like 13 years old. Please don't quote me. Maybe I was 12, maybe I was 11, maybe I was 14. I don't know, but I'm just gonna say 13. And I posted that on Instagram. And people are saying, look, this is her in first class when she's 13. She's a liar. She was always rich. Now, what you don't know about that photo is that that was a flight that my uncle paid for, and it was an economy flight, because my whole family lives in Germany and we were in Australia. So my uncle wanted my brother and I to go see our grandparents. So he bought us 2 economy tickets. And during the flight, my brother threw up all over me everywhere. Everything was wet and hot. Everything was dirty. So the flight attendants take care of unaccompanied minors, and they said to us, guys, come to the front of the plane while I clean this up. It's the last 20 minutes anyway. So for the last 20 minutes of the flight, we were sitting in first class. And of course, they posted on Instagram, and well, then that's cool. And now people are using that like, liar. No, social media is fake, and it can all be explained. And I have before. or another one is I'm wearing like a Gucci watch. My dad's job growing up was buying and selling, so he would constantly go to garage sales or markets and stuff like that, and then sell them on eBay afterwards. So there's a photo of a watch that he bought at a garage sale for $2, and it's a Gucci watch. And I posted that public, and I posted on Instagram. Of course, I'm posting that. That's cool and that's a flex, but that is not real. So you cannot determine things from photos. It is crazy, and that is just those are just a couple of examples. But yeah, me aside in this whole situation, okay, me aside, the bullying that has festered and grown from this because it's a trend is dangerous.
People making accusations of your brother being a racist and an abuser is not just like jumping on a hate train. Like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not a hate train, and you deserve it, and your brother does too. So hope that helps, girly.
Not okay. And bullying like this kills people. It kills people. You might think it's funny to set up your phone and
I rolled my eyes so hard that like the back of my neck snapped. I hate this explanation of like, you can't critique me because I'm getting death threats. You can't critique me or I'll kill myself. And because it's like, okay, let's say who made some awful decisions. David Dobrik, right, almost killed his friend, covered up for someone who allegedly assaulted someone, a bunch of awful things, right? And imagine we all made videos about him, right? And then let's say, God forbid, and I don't even believe in God, God forbid, he kills himself. Does that then mean that nothing he did was bad and that all of our critique is now makes us the worst people in the world because he now killed himself? Like, no, he still made really awful decisions and affected a lot of people negatively, and we have the right to speak about it. And it's so sad that he decided to take his life, but, right? Like, I hate when people get absolved of bad behavior because they commit suicide or they pass away, and now suddenly anyone that ever critiqued them is the worst person in the world. It's like, no, we're allowed to critique people. And you can't throw around this, oh, I'll kill myself, or people kill themselves, or I'm getting death threats. Like, you can't throw that around. It doesn't, I shouldn't feel bad for critiquing someone's really awful apparent behavior just because they pass away or they commit suicide. I shouldn't. Mainly if I'm critiquing them for very valid reasons. And as sad as that sounds, and as callous as that sounds, that's just how it is. And I hate this like culture that we've created of like, the moment someone passes away for any reason, they suddenly just become the angel of the earth and like the most amazing, wonderful, uncritiquable person in the world. My battery's dying.
What's trending right now? I know. I'll say I met Anna Paul once and say something bad. That'll get views. Your views aren't worth someone's life, I'm telling you. Or setting up the camera and laughing with all your friends about what my body looks like and then posting it. That is not worth...
Why are we addressing that? Like, why are we addressing the, like, probably one TikTok that was filmed like that and not addressing the fact that people are accusing your brother of committing crimes and you for covering up for him? Like, why are we addressing that? Because obviously you're just trying to get sympathy points. I'm so sick of it. And maybe people start to say that I'm a mean girl. Maybe people say that I'm lacking empathy or whatever the f***. But I just don't have empathy for this. I don't. I'm sorry. This is such like empathy, like farming, like just farming sympathy points from people.
The views. Someone's life are not worth those views, I'm telling you. And another one that I what is it? I'm a manipulative liar because I called pasta noodles or something like that. Like insanity. I think we can all agree it's gotten very, very insane. Where it's just insane. Now, thankfully, I am fortunate enough to have a very strong support system and a very strong just support system. See, I'm not editing this, so if I like mess up my words, I'm just leaving it in. But my DMs have kept me through this and kept me going. They are so incredibly sweet. But what I can't imagine is going through something like this alone. There are children that go through this kind of stuff, this kind of bullying alone. And for that, I cannot even imagine how they even survive that, to be honest. And because of that, I'm going to leave a number down below if you're alone and you ever need someone to talk to or need someone.
And guess what? She didn't leave a phone number down. So I guess like kill yourself because Anna Paul didn't put your phone. Obviously that was a joke. Let's not be ridiculous. Because I feel like some people don't get sarcasm around here. But yeah, no phone number. So great. Not even a pinned comment. Cool.
Please call that number and do not hesitate. Because it can happen to anyone. So I'm just sending my love out there to anyone that has gone through this or people that will go through this or parents of children who everything. Now, I am fortunate enough to have a team and like a support system of friends who have called me and stuff like that. But like I said, not everybody is. This is not behavior that we can encourage and engage in. If you feel the need to make a hateful negative video, lock your phone before you do that. I promise you someone's life is not worth the views. People die of this every day. And in saying that, I do not want a single nasty or mean comment in my defense. Even if it is pushing me up but being mean to someone else, you do not comment anything hateful or DM anybody anything hateful, even if it's in my defense. Please, that can kill someone. It's all internet fun until someone dies. I'm not joking. It is dangerous. So do not send any hate, not even on my behalf or anything. I do not stand behind your comment. And if you do that, I do not stand behind you, okay? That's so serious. It's people's lives. Anyways, this is not what my account's about, ever. I mind my business, I stay in my peace, I post my nice videos, and that's all I do, and that's all I will ever do, and that's all my account will ever be about. But it all got very big, so here I am. But yeah, I love you so much. Be nice, be kind, and if you feel the need to be mean, lock your phone and go outside. I promise you, you'll have a nicer day and feel nicer afterwards. So yeah, I love you all so much. Thank you so much for the nice messages. I've seen them all and they've kept me going, and let's just encourage kindness because the world needs more of it. It needs way more of it. So yeah, I love you, and my account will always be a positive, safe space.
Positive, safe space, but allegedly your brother is committing crimes. Someone said, yeah, Mint, I'll post that. I don't know, girl, maybe you should have hired a PR team. Feel broke is an insane statement. Me, when I avoid the question, yeah, didn't even address the main accusation. We listen and we judge. Might feel broke to Moz, but will update. So when my parents don't buy me Coke from supermarket, I feel broke. Am I broke? The response we all expected. Being broke and feeling broke is definitely not the same. I'm feeling gaslighted. Guys, we aren't poor, we all just feel broke. No questions were answered. Are you addressing the giveaways? Or, yeah, also like the giveaway raffle thing for OnlyFans. Her brother allegedly committing crimes. Broke is a feeling. Proof I'll watch anything. What did you address? So my parents are on 500k a year, but they said, oh man, we can't buy you that horse. I feel broke. Or it's like if your parents make 500k a year, but they still live paycheck to paycheck because they're financially irresponsible. Are you broke? Do you feel broke? Or are your parents just financially illiterate? Who knows? The innocent act is killing me. How does turn into a lecture? How dare you lecture us? Makes me feel broke is crazy. Actually, can we look that up? Feel broke. DJ set.
Feel broke. When we kind of put school uniforms, it makes me feel broke. When I'm 11, when I'm 10, it makes me feel broke. I do not lie about the fact that I grew up broke. When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That's how I felt. Feel broke. The very feel broke.
And now let's go back to Lilith, because now she addressed everything after Anna Paul's response. So that original video I showed you guys was after Michaela's video, and then this one, these lot updates are for after the response video.
Done by watching that video, and all I can say is that I'm extremely disappointed that I wasted my time watching that whole video. As someone that has truly been hurt by Anna Paul, like, it's just so insane, and it just makes me so frustrated because I can't even just get a simple apology from this girl. Even just a simple sorry. Hey Lilith, I'm sorry for everything I've done. I would never screenshot it. I would never do anything. I would just simply sit back and be like, okay, like finally she like acknowledged the stuff that she truly did to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so disappointing, and I don't even know what to say anymore. Like, I'm just completely like in shock. In 2019, I truly felt that Anna was my true friend. Out of everyone, I was closest to Anna. I swear I literally was friends with her for like almost a year online, right? And imagining become friends with her and become friends with all these people, and then everyone just starts ignoring you. Everyone ignores you, and you're just going absolutely crazy in your own brain because you're like, what did I do wrong? Like, truly, what did I do wrong to these people? And you see them continuing being friends, but you're not in the friend group anymore, and you're just constantly in your head every single day thinking, what is truly wrong with me? Why don't these people like me? And then you get the stupid message from the brother. That's truly how I felt, that I felt like I wasn't good enough to be friends with these people. And then you go to find out she completely, like, it's just insane. She completely lied to everyone and said that I talk shit about everyone, that I did that, and I would never do that. It's just insane. Like, she did that to me, a freaking 19-year-old. I was in the, like, I literally was in such a dark place because of her own actions. Like, it's actually insane to me. And I just can't believe you can't come online and be like, I'm sorry. I can't even simply just get a message from her. Hey Lilith, I'm sorry. That's all I want. Like, that's all I've ever wanted. It's just a sorry. Is that so hard to ask for? And you're just sitting here and act like you made that video and you just have no care in the world whatsoever. You do not care about anyone, and it's like literally insane. You only care about clout and money, and it's so sad. I just can't believe that money and fame means so much to you than people's true feelings. Like, the way you made me feel, Anna, as a 19-year-old, like, I don't think you understand what you put me through. Like, I was in such a dark place. And still to this day, I constantly blame myself. And like, I didn't do anything wrong. It's like, you guys might think I'm over exaggerating, but that's just how I felt as a 19-year-old. And like, making that video the other day, I was so overwhelmed. And I kept stopping and playing the video because I was getting upset, and it happened so long ago. It happened so long ago in 2019, and it still upset me. I just feel like my heart goes out to everyone that has been hurt by her, and Attis as well, and she's just doing nothing about it.
Right, and so the comments are saying, sad voice, no tears. We have all had friends come and go in our lifetimes. That's life. Surviving Anna. The fact that Anna Paul's so close with a rapist is concerning. I understand why Glenn left now. Glenn, we need to hear your story. Another one. I believe every word you're saying. So people are having mixed reactions about this one. I mean, I'm kind of, you know. And then last update from her now.
Good morning, everyone. I just want to say thank you for all the kind words. I did delete that video of me crying because it just got so intense, and I don't like seeing myself in that way. I got very triggered by her video, especially when she was talking about, please don't bully anyone. Does she not realize she's bullied so many people? Hello? I've already said what I wanted to say. I've told my story. So if there's people out there that think that I'm doing this for clout, it's literally insane. Like, I'm so comfortable with my life that, like, I generally don't care about those things. Like, I never have. I just made a video to talk about my story because everyone is opening up and talking about the situation, because every other time someone's talked about something, it got nowhere and they got so much hate. Like, I just feel so bad for Veruca and everything that girl has been through, and everyone else as well. Yeah.
And then this is Veruca's response to Anna Paul's response.
Somebody that I thought was my friend and that I was close with really hurt me.
Someone you were really close with hurt you? You mean like how you really hurt Lilith Cavalier? Next.
When my dad was apparently homeless and that was going everywhere crazy on TikTok, she was the one helping me through it.
Did not need help through that. You were actually on the phone with her while you sat in a room on a cruise ship with Attis and your dad, screaming at your dad to tell you what he said to my son's babysitter.
A fan came up to me and we hugged, and after she walked away, I said, oh my god, she was so fat and sweaty. Now, I do not call my fans fat.
Why would anyone believe you?
I may have called her sweaty.
You're doubling down on, I might have said sweaty.
I've hugged thousands of people, so my shoulders go into thousands of armpits, and afterwards my shoulders smell like sweat.
I put my shoulders into people's armpits. In every single picture, you're the tallest person. Your shoulders going into no one's armpit.
Go-to thing when I meet fans, I always go in for a hug.
Even in your visual representation of what a hug looks like, you're going on top of the person. Your shoulders weren't going into nobody. You literally just made that up.
When I say I grew up broke, that is my experience. That is how I felt.
Do lie about the fact that you grew up broke. Felt broke. Are you kidding me? I just want to really deep dive this. There was no cost of living crisis back then. Your parents together moved from Germany to Australia with their 2 children. And also, if you're so poor, you would have seen the inside of a food bank. You would have known what Christmas presents as donations felt like. You would know these things, but you don't know a fucking thing about being poor because you were never poor.
Showing photos that I grew up in when I was already an adult that I couldn't even imagine even going into when I was like 7 years old. Or
you also have stated in a video that you were poor in high school, that you got in a car with Glenn and drove to school, and your parents would put $7 petrol in the car, and Glenn didn't know why because he didn't grow up poor like you. Hee. That was high school, but now all of a sudden you're 7 years old. Liar.
Bullying that has festered and grown from this because it's a trend is dangerous and not okay. And bullying like this kills people.
You did not care about bullying when it was Michaela being bullied by your fans for 2-3 years and you were getting praised. You did not care about bullying when Attis's first SA victim was being dragged by your fans. You did not care then. You did not care when I was being dragged by your fans for telling the truth, which is something you have claimed to be doing your entire career, but obviously that's not the case. You don't care about bullying unless it's happening to you.
Because of that, I'm going to leave a number down below. If you're alone and you ever need someone to talk to or need something, please call that number and do not hesitate.
If you're going to fake cry, at least produce a tear. I hope everybody is able to see through the gaslighting and the manipulation and the fact that she only brought up things that she knew she could defend herself against. She brought up nothing about the illegal lotteries because she can't defend herself because she fucking did it. And she brought up nothing about Attis's SA allegations from 3 different women. Nothing. And I do see comments being like, well, it's not her fault, like, blah, blah. She lives in the same house as Attis. Attis is abusing these women in front of her eyes. And she's posting on the internet being all cutesy. Yeah, I actually think it has everything to do with her. We constantly are talking about family vloggers on this app. Anna Paul is a family vlogger and she purposely markets family vlogging to a younger audience because younger audiences make you the most money. There's a reason why Logan Paul and Jake Paul started their careers marketing towards children. Children make you the most money. Logan Paul and Jake Paul actually never sold porn to their audience though. So, you know, there's that.
So, that is the whole Anna Paul saga up until now. It's been a long ride. I hope you guys joined me up until the end. If you did, comment some kind of a flower emoji if you made it up until this end. Anyway, let me know what you guys think about any of this. Who do you believe, who do you don't believe, what parts do you believe, what parts do you agree with? I mean, I just want to hear it all. So just let me know all of that, and then subscribe, hit the bell, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.